Hello and welcome to another exciting Football Monday that for some reason we're spending with NBA insider Amin El-Hassan. What do you like on the show today, Amin?
Poor Hugh Jackson. Poor
Hugh Jackson. Dale, papi.
Did Mike McCarthy blow it again?
He blew it a couple of weeks ago by not going for it on fourth down in a fourth and short situation with Aaron Rodgers, and now he's being accused of blowing it because he did go for it on fourth and short situation and didn't execute it. And it's a result-based business, and if for 2 years running you don't make the playoffs, and Aaron Rodgers is your quarterback, even though he's been in varying degrees of health along that run, that's the kind of stuff that gets you fired. This team ought to make the playoffs with that kind of quarterback play, and it's not going to because they've got to win out to even have a chance.
You know, the funny thing, Dan, is you talk about Mike McCarthy. He's been there 11 years, at least with Aaron Rodgers as his quarterback. They've only won more than 10 games 4 times in those 11 years. And so at some point, and I know he won a Super Bowl, at some point you have to say, are we underutilizing the most valuable asset in the entire league by the way that we play? And you think about something in the NBA about Steph Curry shooting as many threes as he does now versus what he used to before Steve Kerr got there, and you realize we put an artificial cap on how good this guy can be. I think that's what Mike McCarthy's been doing with Aaron Rodgers. Might be time for a change.
One of the things that hurts them, beyond it not being enough anymore in today's NFL, 17 points with Aaron Rodgers as your quarterback, is you've seen what schemes do for the Chiefs, for the Rams, for the Saints, and you know how good Aaron Rodgers is as a quarterback. If he doesn't look that good, you're not likely to say it's because he's injured. You're likely to look somewhere else.
I can't believe here it says the Packers are 4-6.
That's right.
And we're still leading the show with them.
I know. My father's so right about that. They got the same record as the Browns. What are we doing around here?
Which shower should be more embarrassed, Leonard Fournette or Jalen Ramsey?
I love how he pronounces Leonard. That's never happened on the show before because in Spanish it would be Leonardo. Yeah. And I like Leonardo Fournette better actually than Leonard Fournette. But here he is getting ejected from this monstrosity of a football game yesterday because this fight careens into the left-hand lower corner of your screen. That was a great catch by Moncrief in that situation. And then Leonard Fournette does some of this. And all he's really doing here, 27, look at this. He came looking for that fight. Now he's swinging at a guy with a helmet that's not very smart. But that's Leonard Fournette saying, you know how tired I am of being injured, carrying 3 yards at a time for this offense with Blake Bortles in my quarterback? I'd like to leave now. And then Jalen Ramsey, over the offseason, he called Josh Allen trash, and during this game, he was yelling that they were trash on the sidelines, and he got beat on a play deep. But I don't think Jalen Ramsey has anything to be embarrassed about here. He talks a lot, and he plays a good game. He backs up his talk. He's not the reason that team's losing.
It's not the reason, but anytime that you talk, Dan, and then the team loses, they're not going to anyone else's locker. They're going to your locker because you're the one that talked all that talk. The irony is, he's right. Josh Allen was 8 of 19, and he had half of his yards on one pass. And other than that, really didn't do much with his arm. A lot of running, but not much throwing. So Jalen Ramsey actually did his job. But I think the more embarrassed guy has to be the guy who wanted to square up and hit a man with a helmet on. Football players, you got to explain this to me. I'm a basketball guy. Yeah. What is it that y'all think when you're mad that you can punch through a helmet? You don't even try to remove it. You just try to punch right through it.
And look at those punches in slow motion. That's Leonard Fournette fighting a dude that doesn't have armor on his head. That's how you would fight someone who doesn't.
He's squaring up. You don't have to square up. If he hits you, he's going to hit you in the helmet. Unless it pops off like it does at the end of this clip right here.
Can we just enjoy the stupidity of the beginning of this clip real quick? Again, I just want you to see how fast on the front end here, Fournette goes from throwing fists to the referee behind him throwing a flag up in the air. But here's Fournette right here. And then look.
Yeah.
One swing, boom, right there, bang!
The ref, shout out to the ref guy, had so much swag on that. He just like nonchalantly just threw it up in the air and waved it like he just don't care.
Was Baker Mayfield petty for not giving Hugh Jackson a hug yesterday?
Oh, a hug. We've got a controversial non-hug situation. Let's look at it. Baker Mayfield was saying he doesn't like that he went to a team in the division. He was hugging vigorously Vontaze Burfict, but his ex-coach, he doesn't want to hug here at all. And then during that game as well, a defensive back gave him the football in a sign of disrespect after intercepting the ball. It doesn't seem like the Cleveland Browns are real sad to have Hugh Jackson be gone.
People are getting upset about Baker Mayfield not giving him a hug. Look, here's the deal. First of all, Baker, you're wrong. obviously Hugh Jackson is free to seek employment wherever he can find it. It's not like he didn't want to be the head coach of the Browns. He got fired. He's got to go get another job, and Bengals called. He got to pick up the phone. But at the same time, we should not be vilifying Baker Mayfield. If he's going to find motivation in the fact that his former head coach is now an assistant coach for a rival team, let him find that motivation. Do you really think Michael Jordan was justified to be mad at Leroy, whatever his name was, the guy he got cut for in high school? No, he wasn't justified. It doesn't matter. But that's how he found his motivation. The end justifies the means.
Except for the fact that he's mad at a coach for leaving to play inside of the division when he himself transferred to play inside the conference for Oklahoma.
Oh, yeah.
There's that.
Yeah,
There's that.
Hugh Jackson finally helped Cleveland get a win.
Yeah.
Man.
My father making
That's
the
right.
joke everybody made 24 hours ago.
Bigger story, the rise of the Seahawks or the fall of the Panthers?
The Seahawks are always in games. Russell Wilson is always in games. So the Panthers get all of 5 incompletions yesterday from Cam Newton. They get like 250 yards from scrimmage from McCaffrey, and they lose at home because Russell Wilson at the end was Russell Wilson. And now, on top of everything else, and we know that this is the second tier in the league. We know who's at the top, and it's not either one of these two teams. But Seattle, the rest of the way, has 4 home games and just 1 road game at San Francisco. They are poised with Russell Wilson always in close games to actually make the playoffs.
You know, it's kind of weird, Dan. The defense in Seattle was so dominant, we really didn't appreciate how good of a quarterback that Russell Wilson really is. And now, with the fall of the defense, all those spaces going away and getting injured, we're starting to see, oh, wait, no, he wasn't just a game manager. He wasn't Trent Dilfer. He's actually really, really good, and he's helping them win games. But I want to talk a little bit about the Carolina Panthers. And first of all, why Cam Newton looks like a golfer from the 1920s. Now, this is his team right here. I've heard from a couple of places people saying, oh, a couple of plays here and there, they could be 8-3. They lost a lot of close games. But you know what the hallmark of a great team is, Dan? You don't play in close games. You blow people out. That's what the Chiefs do. That's what the Rams do. That's what the Saints do. That's not what the Panthers do because they're not a great team.
Oh, I can't wait for the Seahawks to make the playoff, you know. Minnie's going to be really excited.
Yeah.
Right.
And then they're going to get killed by the Rams.
That's
what
exactly
is
what's
going to happen.
Again, for the
That's
third
right.
time this season. Yeah, third time this season.
We love our friends' pain.
Coming up next on Highly Questionable.
On the phone by Connor. That's right, on the phone by Connor. Oh, horrible. Yeah, it's still laughing. It's still going on today. It's still going on.
Time for more headlines. Let's do this.
Okay.
Did Lamar Jackson win the starting job yesterday?
All right, you saw what happened the last time he started a game. They beat a terrible Bengals team that you saw what happened when the Saints went into Cincinnati. You saw what happened yesterday to Cincinnati's defense against Cleveland. Yesterday, the Raiders were the team that he beat. He did it differently than he did it the first time. There wasn't a lot of running around, and he was throwing it to people. But this guy has not yet beaten a good team. And with Joe Flacco coming back from injury, you can see John Harbaugh, even though he's not saying publicly which way he's going to go, saying, you know what, I'm not going to go with the winning just because I can be discerning about how we won. I'm going to go back to the bad quarterback who has won me a championship, and I'm going to ride this out tethered to him.
We can't keep living in mediocrity, looking at clippings from years ago, talking about, well, he did win that Super Bowl. Look, here's the deal. Lamar Jackson is the future. Lamar Jackson is the truth. Lamar Jackson's undefeated. I'm here to say, Baltimore, rise together and demand your Lamar Jackson starting at quarterback.
No, he is not the truth. No.
Yes, he is.
He is undefeated. That part's true. That's truth.
Hey, Jose Flacco, listen. If you want something to happen to Lamar, just let me know. I got my contacts there in Baltimore, and I can make things happen, you know, and they are very reasonable, you know. Just give me the go-ahead and just make a couple of phone calls on your own, buddy.
I'm with him on this. Hold on a second here, because I think the Colts might have gotten a call from my dad yesterday. Did you see Brissett throwing the ball really high to Andrew Luck on 4th and short, trying to get Luck injured so Brissett could have the job? My father might be onto something here.
Jeff Galooly.
Are the Broncos really good, or did Big Bang just make a dumb throw?
All right, are they really good? They beat the Chargers, who we think are very good, and now they beat the Steelers, who we think are very good. And this game had all the Ben Roethlisberger as he ages magic. There's the 90-yard pass to Smith-Schuster, and then at the end. And there has been no great quarterback more capable of this right here, where I still think I'm 18 years old, and I'm going to throw the ball like I did at Miami of Ohio off of my right foot. And oh, I'm sorry, number 96 just intercepted the ball.
I mean, the worst part is even if 96 didn't intercept the ball, the DB in the background would have intercepted it anyway. It was about to be double intercepted. No, it's a dumb play. Yeah, he's allowed. Isn't he allowed that? Hasn't he earned the right, ladies and gentlemen, to have a dumb play every once in a while?
That was such a bad throw. Steve Atwater could have picked that off at his present age.
Did you hear what Le'Veon Bell said after this game?
What did he say? Yeah. On the fumble by Connor. That's right, on the fumble by Connor. Oh, horrible. Yeah, still laughing. It's still going on today. It's still going on today. Still laughing at that fumble. Oh, okay, there we go. A little more.
Is Jimmy Butler back to looking like an unselfish winner?
Oh, Amin is here to tell you that Jimmy Butler is the greatest thing. Look at that smile of victory, and I told you so, because Jimmy Butler is hitting game winners, and I question whether he's actually a superstar or not. And I still question whether you can win anything with Jimmy Butler as your best player. But him doing this for Philadelphia is a little bit of what Philadelphia needs at the end of games. I do wonder here, I mean, how does Ben Simmons feel about that? That's not a shot Ben Simmons ever wants to take. How does Ben Simmons feel about the ball leaving his hands at the end of the game?
It feels great. Oh, I'm sorry. We live in a world where I don't want good teammates. Hey, let's get Markelle Fultz back out there. I'll feel so much better. I'm Ben Simmons. I want trash teammates. No, that's exactly what they brought him there for. You know what I love about that play? It's identical to the game winner hit against the Hornets, and the same thing happened. The defender actually guarded it perfectly. They timed the closeout with his step back. They got a great contest, except for one fact, Dan. He's 6'8". And when you're 6'8" and you rise up like that, this is what we call a make or miss league. He makes them. He's a great player, and he makes life easier for Joel Embiid. He makes life easier for Ben Simmons, and that's why he's there. And him being there is what makes Markelle Fultz expendable.
This is a point that Amin made on the radio today. This is the only team in the league that has a great perimeter player, a great center, a great point guard. There is no other team in the league that has those three things. Of course, it would have been better if he had made that point on television instead of I merely parroting it.
I throw alley-oops to you, you dunk them.
To play the game that is feeling festively plump. Do you question?
Give us topics and events, and we question them.
He wasn't ready at all for that. He was scratching the side of his face or something.
My ear. It was itchy.
Festively plump. Do you question Cordero Patterson decision making?
That's close enough. Let's check in with the sort of running back for the New England Patriots.
They give it to him. Patterson.
Used to be a wide receiver. And that's a very short run. And now,
He squeezed and twisted.
That's right. That's accurate analysis from Amin right there. Hyper-examining the situation like the investigative journalist that he is. There was indeed twisting going on there.
And squeezing.
As a bonus. Squeezing and twisting. That's right. We didn't offer you anything else in the way of commentary other than to say what you already saw.
Patterson, you're lucky you didn't try it on this guy.
On what guy? He is lucky he didn't try that on this guy. Yes. Amazing.
I love the flex.
Yes, get him to submit.
Yes.
I didn't like the way that sounded. How amazing would that have been if that's the way that highlight had ended in the Patriots game?
Brings a whole new meaning to the word sack.
Oh, too far.
Too much?
Do you question if this trick play was well thought out?
Okay, Oregon State exists to not be very good, and this year they are 2-10. And they lost Oregon the other day, 55-15, but they tried a trick play in the middle of this 40-point loss, and here's what it looked like. Was this well thought out?
Oh, man.
And as an added bonus, hey, the quarterback is writhing on the ground in both shame and pain.
Yo, why did he nonchalantly lob it to the quarterback like that? Look, I'm all for a 2-10 team. Look, you have nothing to play for. You might as well do nothing but trick plays. But at least be invested. Like, these guys clearly did not want to do this play.
Lazy. They didn't want to do that.
They saved that play for the big rivals? Wow.
That's right. They broke that out. They've been practicing all season to just have that opening in that game to run that play.
Do you question whether this is acceptable behavior from a dog owner?
Oh, the 2018 dog championship thing is here. Dog championship thing, whatever it's called. Let's check in with one of the owners here. He's got a treat for his dog. Here it is. Okay. A delicious treat. Oh! What is that? Hey, those are delicious. They taste like peanut butter.
Hey, can we look at that video one more time? Check this out. He waits for the exact moment when the official walks away, and then he puts it in his mouth.
When no one's looking, right, except for, of course, that camera, because you're a televised treat stealer, sir. Everyone saw it.
This is an admission of guilt.
Sorry.
Okay. Unfortunate timing from my father that makes everything better. With the most giant sneeze ever seen on television. Please replay that again and again. It was the most giant. I'm stunned he didn't throw out his back on that.
I was hoping for you guys to stop talking.
No, please show me the video of that sneeze creeping up his face.
I was worried that I missed the joke. I was like, wait a second.
No, my father just with terrible timing.
This is an admission of guilt.
Sorry.
Dad, it's so terrifying.
Christ. It's like he's shouting into a cavern.
Look at Dan's face. Look at Dan's face.
Time to play the game that you send a shirtless selfies to your mom. See? Oh no.
There's a guy who's reading the prompter before my father says the lines and is laughing. He sent the shirtless FT to your mom, not our mom. And selfie's what I meant to say.
On ESPN, Monday Night Football, Titans and Texans.
DeAndre Hopkins is one of the best wide receivers in football. It seems like not a lot of people know that. The Houston Texans have won 7 in a row. It seems like a lot of people don't know that either. Let's check in with DeAndre Hopkins here. This ended up being offensive pass interference. Also, that is a game from 1 month ago. That is 1 month old video footage we have of football, even though there were a whole slew of games this weekend where great catches were made. We'll bring them to you in a month. Amin, are you intrigued?
Oh, see, I'm very intrigued. And you know why, Dan? Because I work for the Walt Disney Company. And we love Monday Night Football. And we gave America a hell of a Monday Night Football last week. And guess what? We're going to do it again tonight.
Okay, that's not true. First of all, John Gruden and Sean McDonough both got mad at how often I put up this new code. Bobby, are you intrigued?
Oh, see, I'm very intrigued. Are you kidding me? Marcus Mariota is going to be taking the field against Sean Watson. You know, that's a hell of a matchup. You know, the last time I looked at Marcus Mariota, he beat the out of Tom Brady, you know,
right.
The king of the NFL. Now he's going to do the same thing tonight to the Sean Watson. You watch Marcus Mariota coming through tonight, even though he's not 100%, but you know, he's okay. He's a fighter. He's a spark plug. You know, he's a guy that never gives up. And he's from Hawaii. That's it. You got it. I got my money on Marcus Mariota and the Titans.
Spark plug. He never gives up, and he's from Hawaii. Bonus fact.
Robots.
On HBO, the truth about killer robots.
You may have heard my father mutter under his breath something. It sounded like rabbits. I think he said robots. This confirms it. Yes, robots is what we're looking at here. Let's see, a documentary on robots.
This is a story of automation and of the people lost in the process.
Oh, my God.
There was this accident.
A robot killed a man.
What?
Yes, Yes, that's right.
It just didn't stop.
That's
It's the very
exactly
first
why
death
we
in a
need to stop
driverless
giving
car.
power.
Any kind of work that is fundamentally routine and repetitive is going to disappear because AI is going to be everywhere.
We don't want to replace a worker, we want to support workers.
The biggest danger there is the discrediting of our empathetic responses.
The dynamic between robots and humans changed. You could no longer tell where you ended. And we began.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Oh, this is not a C for everybody.
yeah, right? Yes, he's right about this. I guess we have his answer. Poppy, are you intrigued?
Oh, see, I'm very intrigued. But listen, guys, I have a confession to make.
What's that?
I am a robot.
I knew it! I knew it!
Robot.
I knew it! You guys called me crazy, I told you!
I am a robot.
He is a robot. We hate to break it to you this way. Why? This is so awkward. I mean, he's an actual robot. He's not my father. He's never been my father. I've never felt love from this man.
I broke the sign, by the way, I'm sorry.
Way to go, Reed.
I am a robot. I am a robot. I am a robot. I am a robot.
Maybe it'll be fixed tomorrow.
I am a robot. I am a robot. I am a robot.
Can we get someone in the electricity department?
I am a robot.
IT? Can we get someone in IT?
I am a robot. 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 I am getting